All right, ladies, here we are, video number 3. So, I have taken into consideration some of the feedback that you gave me on the videos. So please let me know if you're still looking for some changes in volume or speed, etc. Um, Additionally, today we have a couple of extra examples. So you'll notice there are 2 pages for video examples. Before we get started, don't forget I need a summary. There's 2 summaries here, so let's do this one on 2.6 and a level of understanding check before we begin. So take a minute, pause the video, and go ahead and do that. Okay, now that you have given me kind of your summary and video or understanding check, let's talk about rates, ratios, and conversions. So the first one I'm going to do is on unit rates. And a unit rate, remember, is what you're going to find per 1 unit of your item. So my example today is, what if you were to buy 6 bagels for $3.29 or 8 bagels for $4.15? Which would be the better buy? The easiest way to decide which one is the better buy is to find your unit rate. So to go through and take $3.29 and divide by 6, and then $4.15 and divide that by 8, in each group you'll get the unit rate. So 329 divided by 6 is going to end up being 0.4548, so really 0.55 cents if you round up. Remember, money is always 2 decimal places. And 415 divided by 8 is going to end up being 0.518 or 0.52 cents. So better buy is going to be 52 cents per bagel, or the 8 bagels for $4.15. So notice we're finding per 1 unit or per 1 bagel in both of those things. My next example is going to be a conversion problem. So basically we need to convert 63 yards to feet. Now, if you remember, one of the things you were supposed to, one of the conversion factors you were supposed to remember is how many feet are in a yard. So in case you forgot, it's 3 feet in 1 yard. Now, one of the things you should pay attention to when doing your conversion factors is making sure that the units you want to cancel out are in opposite places in your fraction. That means one of those units is in the numerator and one of them is in the denominator. So to start this problem, I'm going to say, okay, 63 yards, and I'm going to put it over 1 to make it a fraction. Remember, you can write any number over 1 to make it a fraction. Then I'm going to multiply by my conversion factor. And when I choose my conversion factors layout, I'm going to take a look and figure out that I want yards to be in the denominator this time, because then my yards will cancel out. So 1 yard goes in the denominator and 3 feet goes in the numerator. That gives you or tells you that you should multiply 63 times 3. Now, you probably figured that out in your head already, and that's okay. But when we get to a longer conversion problem, like our next one, it will be very important to write out all of these steps and make sure that your units are in the proper place. That way you make sure that you're multiplying and dividing appropriately, especially when you're changing from multiple conversion factors. So 63 times 3 is 189 feet. And we're done with 1 conversion. So as I said, for example 3, we're going to do another conversion factor, but this time we're going to convert multiple units. So here I'm going to say a car is going 55 miles per hour. What is its speed in feet per second? So you can see that not only are we going to change miles to feet, that's one conversion factor, but I have to change my hours to seconds, and that's going to involve two conversion factors, hours to minutes and then minutes to seconds. So let's start with our original amount, 55 miles and 1 hour. That's a unit rate, so I can put the 1 hour on the bottom. Okay. Next, I'm going to put in my three conversion factor fractions. Any order you want is fine, but when you're writing them, you have to make sure you have your units in the proper place. So I'm going to change my miles to feet first, just because it's easier. So I'm going to multiply by 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Remember, if the miles is in the numerator, then I want miles in the denominator so that they will cancel out. So 1 mile, 5,280 feet is in the numerator. Okay? So that tells me I need to multiply my 55 times 5,280 feet. Now for my next conversion factor, I'm going to go back to the original fraction and I'm going to look at hours. If hours is in the denominator, then I want my hours and my conversion factor to be in the numerator. That way they will cancel out. So in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. Okay. And then for my final conversion factor, I have to figure out where to put the minutes. If they're in the denominator, then minutes for my last conversion factor need to go in the numerator, so they'll cancel out. In 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. Okay. So now that I have everything lined up, I can figure out what I need to multiply together and then what I need to divide. You can tell in this problem that I have to take my 55, multiply it by my 5,280, and then divide it by 60 times 60, which is 3,600. Okay, so if we do 55 times 5,280, sorry about that, you're going to get 290,400, and then 60 times 60, which is 3,600. Then you can divide that out, and you'll find out that you get, I'm sorry, technical difficulties on my calculator, 290,400 and 3,600. There we go. You'll get 80.67. So if we go through and round that to the nearest tenths, 80.7 feet per second. And you'll notice that left over in my units, feet was one of the units I didn't cross out, and seconds was a unit I didn't cross out. So I know that I've left my answer in the proper units, and that I've gotten rid of all the units that I didn't want in my answer. So I canceled out the miles, canceled out the hours, canceled out the minutes. So it's really important in those conversion factors to make sure that you go through and cancel everything out. Okay. All right, so for that, I need you to go ahead and give me a check on ratios, rates, and conversions. And then we're going to start over using the same page for 2728.